Nerf Rayven with an integrated AirTech 2000 attached to the detachable recon barrel. I will go over the internal modifications first, and then the paint job, and show you it firing. The previous clips of the making of this blaster really only include the AirTech 2000 because this is the exact Rayven used in my Rayven tutorial, so I did not want to show those clips again to the viewers that are subscribed to me and watch all of my videos. So if you'd like to see the making of the actual Rayven, click the annotation up here for the tutorial on the modifications to the Rayven. Although I'll briefly go over them real quick. I pretty much cleaned out the circuit, cleared out everything that's not absolutely essential, and I'm currently running on 3 lithium-ion batteries running at 4 volts a piece, so it's roughly 12 volts, and I have a dumb battery on my last slot just to continue the circuit. I did run with 4 volt batteries, but I did detect a little bit of overuse of the motors. I was smelling some nastiness, and I did not want to risk frying my motors. And it is obnoxiously loud as it is. I already felt bad at HVZ running this motor when someone was trying to talk. It was actually a hindrance to the communication of the team I was in, so it was kind of annoying. I only could turn it on when I was actually about to shoot something. Then removing the locks, cleaning the circuit, and ramping the voltage, I didn't actually do much. I did lubricate the trigger, so it is very smooth. It's actually smoother than in stock form, which is nice. But other than that, check out that annotation if you want to go to the making of this. Now to this part. This is, if you can see, a recon barrel extension, as you can see, with an AirTech 2000 integrated. I have not permanently attached this, so it still detaches, although the spring found in this thing is really strong for this particular thing. It's kind of rusty and messed up. I actually opened it up to look at it, so it does sound disgusting every time you pop that open. But getting into this, I pretty much just glued an AirTech 2000 to this, and these 2 bars are CPVC to make that connection a little bit cleaner. I left it detachable so I could actually shoot at 2 things at once, and I played HVZ at OSU, or Ohio State University, with this blaster. And I found that being able to detach it to be able to use 2 blasters at one time actually helped quite a bit. And in zombies, you're usually targeting multiple people at one time, so actually being able to shoot into the horde with 2 blasters is very beneficial. And then when I needed to focus and actually shoot at one, attaching it, as you can see, is very quick. The project aim for this blaster was actually purely HVZ. I will not be using this in NIC Wars. And I did use it in HVZ, and I didn't use anything else, and I was really happy with this blaster. The theory I was going for was high rate of fire and medium range for this type of blaster, and then my longer range blaster for the 2K. I did actually get a shot on a zombie at about 80 feet with this, which I'm pretty proud of. And for the NIC guys, you're saying 80 feet, well, that's pretty normal for us. For 80 feet to an HVZ person is actually pretty far. In this game type, I was restricted to stock darts. That's why I chose the Rayven. They would not allow Steffens, and they would not allow a homemade like a plus bow because that could inflict pain at close range. Going over the modifications to the AirTech 2000, I replaced the barrels with 17/32 brass. And if you're wondering why I did not extend the barrels, this was for the use of stock darts, specifically sonic darts, because they're more accurate than streamlines, although I did end up actually using streamlines for the majority of the day because my ammo pouch was primarily filled with streamlines. I've also glued the trigger spring here, as you can see in the video. That allows for a faster air release and actually increasing range. There was some dispute on potting the trigger or whatever a few years ago on Nerf Rayven, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's putting hot glue over the spring to deactivate the action of the spring so you have a direct firing pin pull. Some equations were thrown out, and you can't really deny equations because proven equations are proven equations. However, their application to certain actual aspects of Nerf can be denied, which in this case, all of the math that was thrown into that conversation from one party was completely wrong. So you can just try it for yourself. If you glue the trigger spring, you will increase range because you're releasing all of that PSI faster, and you're just releasing the air, and that's just better. And I also eliminated the goo gauge, which is just a little bit of extra dead space. That doesn't increase range that much, it's just a little bit cleaner. I will not be making a tutorial on this integration or any integrations in general because most of the time it is simply cut and paste, and that doesn't really require a tutorial. So I believe I have covered all of the modifications for this blaster. I will get into the paint job. As you can see, this is a gray base, although I did start both of the blasters with a flat black vinyl dye base coat because I feel that covering this lime green was very obnoxious with just gray. I tried that out on the last blaster, and I decided to cover it in all black first. After everything was black, I then painted it vinyl dye gray. And that was 2 coats of the gray, and then all of this green is Moot Green by Citadel. I will post a link in the description box to their web store if you'd like to purchase this. And then I added Chaos Black accents, as you can see, and Chaos Black dry brushing. Dry brushing is very mild because I was trying to restrict how dark the blaster was because this was intended for HVZ. And after I finished the dry brushing, I finished it with a Rustoleum flat or non-reflective clear coat. And a clear coat ensures that the dry brushing will not rub off onto my hands or rub off the gun, which is more important. I was going to try to get footage of HVZ, but I didn't. It was actually more demanding of my attention than previous NIC wars because zombies can attack you at any point. So I didn't get any footage of that, although I will be doing an HVZ loadout of what I wore and all my gear, just in case people are curious, and that will be up next week. I believe that's everything for the video. Let me know in the comment section below whether or not you like this hybrid video style with music and the slideshow and all of that stuff, and then me talking at the end, or your opinions on my video style at all. If you watch my old videos, you might notice that all of my comments are now enabled, so feel free to comment on any of my old videos. They were previously disabled, so I could not, because I couldn't keep track of all the old videos. And also, I still have quite a few blasters for sale on my website, coop772.com. There will be a link in the description box below. So that concludes the Rayven video. Thanks for watching.